Listen vision, listen vision, listen vision, listen vision. DC's #1 recording studio.
All right, welcome. Right. We need both windows up, sir.
They're both up.
No, they're not. Both up completely, equally. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why do we need to have them?
All right. Welcome to the Swerve Show, folks.
Can we get a little brighter on the set?
Yeah, we need a little bright. We need a little more lights.
It's not being seen.
All right. So, y'all, welcome to the Swerve Show. It is January 9th. I want to welcome everyone to the show. My name is Jamil Fletcher, the publisher of Swerve Magazine. We got some great guests in town with us. I want to first acknowledge my co-host here. We got Yerde Noir.
Yes, what's up, folks?
Large.
I'm here.
All right. Then we got Tony Nelson.
Hi.
In the checkered blazer.
It's plaid.
Oh, plaid. I'm sorry.
Always so
We're
fashionable.
going to start already. And Racine Harvest.
Salutations.
All right.
Can we get a little more brighter on the set? I'm
Me too.
just not feeling the
There
color.
we go, Dizzy. There we go. All right. Bring down the Swerve logo a bit so that it's small. Put it in the corner. All right. Where's Jacob when we need him? Come on, Dizzy.
Oh, shade.
Oh, the shade of
Come
it
on,
all.
it's coming. But anyway, we're going to get
We
started.
love you. I'm not loving the color of my skin.
And moving closer, y'all. Okay, so I want to, as we kick off the January-February issue, I want to I want to premiere the cover. So it's pending. I mean, it's at the printer right now. So can we show that image? We're going to debut that. You're going to love it. Let's show the January-February issue cover. Capaz.
Yes.
That was all your idea. And so Joseph,
That does nice.
cover. Doesn't that look like Essence?
It does.
Can we keep it up? Keep it up. Keep it up for a second. Keep it up for a second. Yeah. You got it? There we go. Doesn't that look like an Essence cover to you?
Wow.
Amazing. You
Isn't it
styled
gorgeous
that
what we
baby.
did?
Thank you.
Your day, you really did it. Joseph is, for those of you who don't know, is the misunderstood social worker. So Joseph hasn't even seen it yet. I wouldn't show it to him because he would have shared it. And there would have been the surprise. But anyway, so look for that probably over the next week or so.
That's
it
a beautiful
It should
cover.
hit the streets. So anyway, we also have Dwayne Vernon here with us. He's a noted writer. Well, nationally. You've been writing books for quite a while.
2007.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Really? And you've got, what, 6, 7 books?
6, 7, getting ready to come out in about 3 or 4 months.
Okay. And we're going to talk about Dwayne in more detail as we go forward.
Actually, Joseph is actually on.
Hey, Joseph, you better be. All right. And so, of course, we have advertising opportunities both within the magazine and on the show. Do we have that image? All right. Can you show that? Okay, my man. All right, he's moving.
We love DC.
We're going to get him together. He's going to be reading our brains in a minute. All right. Okay. And so, of course, we have those opportunities to match your budget. So please contact us and we can, so that you can leverage our brand and reach the Black LGBT community. All right, you talking? What's going on? Okay, everyone is in a strange mood tonight. Hey, Mike.
People in a strange. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Anyway,
Everyone on Facebook Live, please like it.
I want to see what's check in with our host. What's going on with you? Let's start with you, your day. What's going on?
I'm officially 40. That's what happened.
Oh, whatever.
Happy
for
birthday.
Happy birthday. Capricorns
Happy
rule the
birthday.
Yes,
world.
I'm officially fabulous 40. Bless God.
And I was so worn out celebrating your birthday on the 4th. I was too tired to celebrate mine on the
Really?
5th. Yes.
I just want to say this, that I had an amazing time with Daryl Wilson's party. Thank you, Tony Nelson, who was the MC for
Tony,
the night.
you were on fire that night.
And DJ
Fire.
set
Thank
my
you.
soul on fire.
They said she was down there dancing till she was out of
Baby.
breath.
I had lost all in my mind. I woke up in all of my clothes except for my shoes.
Hey, Demon's watching. When's that new album coming out, Knucklehead?
I felt like I was 16.
Riot and Ian Scott
All right.
and Albert Frank.
Hi, Mike.
So,
Tony, what's going
Tony
on with
Nelson.
Oh, well, I'm still working, living, loving, and getting all that stuff. We have Strong J review coming up on the fourth Sunday of
His birthday is actually
And-
today.
It's the 27th.
you? Happy birthday.
on the 27th, and we want to say happy birthday
Happy
today
birthday.
to Strong J and
Happy birthday.
Another beloved Capaz.
and her partner Tay's birthday is
Today's
all.
birthday is the same time, right?
Yes, it's the same time.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
So we want to say happy birthday to them, and I'm going to be hosting their birthday celebration at the legendary Mr. Henry's.
Yes.
And of course, I will return to Ziegfeld's, not the third Sunday,
Of January.
not the third Friday this month. They have a special guest MC. They're going to bring New York and DC together.
Oh, that's right. Harmonica Sunbeam.
Harmonica Sunbeam is going to be there, but they don't have a DC MC. I don't know why.
Well, let me just say, Tony,
Yes.
Ziegfeld is yours.
Baby, it's
Is
all
it
yours.
mine?
That is yours. You
Thank-
have peed on that. That's yours.
And they said it would never happen.
They said it would never happen.
Ziegfeld
So,
belongs to you.
so I returned to Ziegfeld's on the first Friday of February.
Okay.
February.
So while Ernest McCarley, who does our
Ernest.
announcements, our wedding announcement, he is also a Capricorn, so shout out to him. He's on. And Lamar Johnson, who's one of our regulars, we thank you for tuning in
Lamar,
every
that's
week.
my workout buddy.
His birthday is January the
And did
10th.
y'all see Demond said his album is coming out in spring? That's Yellow Boy Chronicles 2, maybe?
Hey, come on, that's a Racine.
Come on, Racine.
And
what's
your
going on with
birthday is
you?
approaching too.
We got a flyer for Racine.
My
Don't we have a
birthday is
flyer?
actually Friday, January the 11th.
Okay.
The same day as Mary J. Blige, the Queen of Hip
Oh,
Hop
my
Soul.
God.
Yes, this is my spring flyer for the Ask Racine show, which is the first Wednesday of every month, March through November. When we're not at HRC, we are at, we will do an online show.
Okay.
So please remember to follow me. That's RAYCEEN at all forms of social media. If you'd like to volunteer or be a sponsor, or also an artist, author, or to be any part of the Ask Racine show, we welcome you. We'd like to say that please email us at askracine@gmail.com. And I'd like to thank our wonderful sponsors this year. Bite the Fruit has come on, Comfort Zone has come on, HRC again has
Speaking
given
to the
us
mic, Rich. we can barely hear you.
HRC has again given us the space in the venue. We like to thank them once again from the bottom of our hearts. We also like to thank so many of our prior sponsors for 2018 and all of our amazing sponsors, J Productions, along with so many wonderful people. We just like to say thank you for believing in our vision, AHF, as well, DC Homos. We thank you, Jose at DC Homos, along with
What
Real
year is this for you?
Information.
What year? How many years?
I'm going into now my 9th year with the
All
Ask
right.
Racine show. We will be.
Has it been 9 years?
Yes, it has. We will be 10 years in 2020.
I
so
haven't
look
got
for
my
amazing
residual
things.
check. I haven't got
9
my residual
years.
check.
We 9 years of the Ask Racine show.
We're going to do something special for the
Has
10-year
it been 9
anniversary.
Yes, we
years?
are. We're going to revisit
It ain't
our
been no
10
9
years. We're going to
years.
re-invite some of our past guests from the very beginning.
So-
We started at, we had a lot of.
Your day and I are trying to count. We said
It's been- it'll be 10 years.
It's been 10 years. I think I was on the first show.
Yeah, you were.
I was on the first show. Yes,
Swerve,
it's
how many years has Swerve been around? Okay, just checking.
been 10 years.
Just
I was
checking.
started at the Martin Luther King
We
Library.
started at the Martin
Oh,
Luther King
that's right.
Library. That was our, and then we originally were at the Naval Air Force.
Oh,
Right.
see, I didn't
We
know
were
that. I
there
didn't know
for
that.
like a few shows, and the door avenue opened for us to go into the wonderful Martin Luther King
I
Library.
didn't get my check. Did you get your royalty check?
You did. You did. It was 25 cents,
Okay.
and you received it. And then we were at the historical Bohemian Caverns.
Right, it lived,
and,
right.
And now we're at the wonderful ARC.
All right,
Human
all right,
Rights
come on.
Campaign.
We're going to get started. So, y'all, look out for Racine's
Let's go.
show, X Racine show. We got to make sure we're there first.
Shout out to my
Wednesday.
mama who's
All
online.
right.
Hey, mama.
Yo, let's go to some news. I only got a couple, few items, but some big ones. The government shutdown. So we are on what, day 19?
19.
Y'all?
Saturday, it'll be the longest shutdown.
Yeah, in history.
I think that's what they're going
So
for.
tomorrow, this Friday is the first day that the checks won't hit, right?
Yes.
This is when it gets
Is it
real.
this Friday?
This Friday.
Yep.
Oh.
This Friday, they won't
This
get
is
any
when
check.
it gets
Because
real.
some parts of it's not full though, because some of them are getting half checks.
Right.
this pay period.
But this
It's
is
the
when-
following one that's really going to be the juicy.
Yeah.
This is what gets real.
People. My brother has to report to work.
Well, they say the TSA folks were calling off.
And they said that you have to wait, I think, officially 3 weeks after the official furlough, you can apply for unemployment.
Well,
Y'all-
even if you get unemployment, you take the risk of having to pay that money back.
If you get your points.
And just real quick, the networks are really upset because they gave Mr. Trump all his time.
And he said absolutely
He said absolutely nothing. But can I just say something about that?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand how you keep blaming the clown for acting like a clown. Stop going to the service.
because he's the president.
But they
That's
need to
it.
stop going to the service. You knew this man wasn't going to say anything.
Right,
Even the Amy Ryan's, I love these people. At some point, you know he's going to lie. I know you're doing your job. Stop acting surprised about it. You already know.
There's two things that is to me. One is clearly, I think this is intentional from him because his whole deliverable, what he's providing the Russians and Putin, is destabilizing our government. And this was a means to do that. The second thing is,
I believe you.
where in the world is Mitch McConnell?
Where is Mitch? He went to the luncheon today.
He's ghost.
That's the first time we've seen him. One of the announcers said, we're going to have to put him on the side of milk cartons because we can't find him.
Where's Mitch McConnell? You know, the whole thing is, I mean, you had Obama who used that platform to, what did he do? They fought bin Laden.
Kelly.
This platform has been used to announce the 9/11 things, and you went on there to talk about a wall.
And he conflates everything. The stats, they're all
Baby, the
false
fact
and made up.
the fact checkers were on top as soon as it was over. Before we even got to Nancy Pelosi and them, baby, they was check wrong.
I just want to see what the Republican senators, how they respond by next Wednesday when everybody's calling about their money in their seats.
But someone on TV said that, have you noticed that Nancy Pelosi is the only person that he hasn't, especially a woman, that he has gone up against, but you notice he never calls her out her name?
No, he's not said anything there.
Going to.
And there's I won't say it on the air, but there's a very important reason why he won't. Very important.
Okay.
It's a sidebar conversation, but there's a very important reason.
We want to.
I'm here for it.
We don't want
But
the
on
FCC to
but
jump
on a
in.
serious note, the sad thing about this shutdown, it will affect so many smaller businesses, and the ripple, it will have a lasting effect for quite some time. But to those creditors, they are giving federal employees letters to send to their creditors. Also, if you look on social media, for those who are living in the DMV, there is a food bank for federal employees that they have opened up. All you have to do is show your federal ID, and you can receive as much food as you like if you're going through a very hard
That's a
time.
mess.
So it's really sad. So I posted the information earlier. I will post it. There are 3 dates throughout this week that they will be doing it in Upper Marlboro, the 9th.
This is for
The
those
10th
of us
and
in the
11th.
Washington, D.C.
DMV
Right.
area. So look for that on social media. I will tag all of everybody along with the Swerve Show that's here tonight.
And call
so they
your
can
senators.
repost it.
Call your senators
y'all.
and call your mortgage companies.
Call your senators and say, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, people need to get in the streets and fight back.
And
Okay,
people
all
are
right.
affected. To everyone in Facebook land, please like and share. Hi, JJ. Hi.
So we'll keep an eye on that. Okay.
Aaron K from Las Vegas is sending his love.
We saw him. There we go. So, okay,
Mara,
we got another
Capricorns
item,
rule the
y'all.
world.
Ed Buck
Okay.
has found
Here
with
we go.
another dead black man. Keep this image up, please. So this is the gentleman. He's a major Democratic election or campaign donator, funder, anyway. And this is the second young black man that's been found dead in his home.
Yep.
The first one, the investigation has really kind of been brushed aside. But so he has this thing where he likes the young black boys. He gets them all drugged up, or he's injecting crystal meth or something in them, and they're overdosing at his house. What in the world is going on?
3 words: lock him up.
Yes.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
And you know what? Somebody else said that he is like a modern day Jeffrey Dahmer. Now, what's interesting is this young man right here. He was the first case. He was 26 years old.
first one.
This is the first one. The second one, the second
Jamal,
guy.
this is Jamal, right?
His last name I think is no, his last name is not Moore. Moore is the new guy. The new guy is 55. This guy was 26 years old. He said that Ed Buck said that he was an escort, and when he came, he was already high. That's what he said. La-di-dee, la-di-da. But they found paraphernalia, but they didn't arrest him. This time,
he's not been arrested at all.
Right, he hasn't been arrested at all. The second one that recently happened. This man was 55 years old. He was 55. Ed Buck is like 67. They found the guy butt naked on a mattress in his living room with drug paraphernalia all around him. Los Angeles Times quote in there where they talked about that he has not been arrested again for the second time because
this happened though,
but
right?
the prosecutors won't even. They're saying that it was an accident. They won't judge. They won't even process. They're not even pressing charges with voluntary manslaughter. Any of those things.
He must be politically correct
because he's a big donor.
Is he a billionaire? He's a billionaire.
I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he's a big donor. So this is the catch-22 though. Here's the flip. So there have been protests in front of his building, and the protesters are going off on the neighbors, saying that the neighbors should have done something. However, the flip to it is that the neighbors have been complaining to the management or the owning of the
all these
building
strange black
about
men
the
in the
black
building.
men. And so one of the ladies in the article, she said in our defense, if we were to pick up the phone and call about these random black men coming in, would we be ostracized for calling on another black person?
Lord.
So, which the point is valid.
That's true. That's
the point
true.
is valid.
That's true. I get
but
that.
they are frustrated because they knew that there was a lot of craziness going on, and they keep complaining. But the owner of the building won't do anything. So
See something, do something.
So they have said, the person who's in charge of In the Meantime from L.A.
Oh, Jeffrey King.
Yes,
Jeffrey King said something?
he
Shout
made a
out to you,
statement, and
Jeffrey.
he was like, had it been me, and those been some little white boys, they would have handcuffed me in front of the entire
Jeffrey.
building, put their hand on my head, and lowered me to the
That's right.
Jeffrey, I want you to write something about that. Let's do something. Jeffrey wrote something for us years ago. Write something about this, Jeffrey. I want to know what's going on with that.
Arnold Cogdell, who has a lot of L.A. Connections, he's a good friend of mine. He said this
he's
guy,
not a billionaire.
He's not a billionaire. He's a millionaire, but not a billionaire, which
But
a little bit of a difference.
he's given a lot of money. They said that he gave money to Hillary Clinton
Right.
campaign,
They gave Hillary-
the Obama campaign. He's given money to a lot of African American.
and he's done a lot of crystal meth too.
Oh, he has.
You know what?
He has.
But this
We need
is
to go on,
this is the
what's our girl?
travesty.
What's our girl senator? We need to call on her.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Get
Get
him.
you grad. Kamala, we need some explaining.
Thank you.
And here it is. The sad thing about this is, and what it all speaks volume, is little brown bodies don't have value in this country. And with the whole thing with this horrible, deplorable, wretched man and the wretched R. Kelly situation.
Oh, we're not even gonna get into that.
Is brown girls, brown boys don't matter when their lives are taken or when they're hostage or anything that occurs to them. But the moment Becky with good hair and Tyler are taken or harmed or their lives are lost by the hands of someone that is brown, the scenario changes.
What it says, you make a 911 call. Say it's a blonde person,
Right.
blonde woman, blonde
Right.
hair.
Also, what's the young lady who just got clemency?
Oh, is it Cynthia Sinat?
Oh, the sister for
Sex
Yes.
slave, the young
But this-
girl who was a sex slave.
Oh,
And
that's
I'm
what she killed.
I'm bringing
A
this up
string.
because we also have to talk about how people feel like people are less than because they do sex work. And if they do sex work, then they mean that your life doesn't
Right,
mean
you don't
anything.
deserve to die.
So the
Right.
way that they characterized the young lady that they just got clemency, they said that she was a prostitute. But in reality, she was forced to have sex. You see what I mean?
Right.
She was a sex slave.
Right.
And so, I mean, when we start looking at all of this, it's an absolute mess. And again, if, as Racine was said, if it was bad with the good hair.
I know. So Tony, you've been quiet on this. What you got something to say about that?
As far as the brown babies and stuff, well,
No, this Ed Buck.
well,
There's a special
I think you
place in
got-
hell for him.
it
To believe that.
But we're gonna keep going. I tell you what, we're gonna keep. Go ahead, Tony. You said you gonna say something.
I 100%
Symphonia
agree.
Browns
And here's
to
the
me.
thing. Here's my
Thank
thing.
you.
We bring up like, why didn't you tell? So this would have hadn't have been ended with people being murdered,
Right.
but just abused. And they didn't tell them.
Right.
It bothers me when I hear people add another layer of guilt to a victim as was asking things like, well, why didn't you say something? It just perpetuates these
I
things.
agree.
These things that look to people, and I just don't understand. I hate to think of it from that lens of, oh, if it had been a white person, But unfortunately, this is what
Happened.
this is the fabric that this country has
Absolutely.
been built on, has been stitched together on disparities amongst races and how
class.
and class
class.
and
Right.
systems, exactly. And so it's really unfortunate, but I'm a firm believer that fortunately it's unfortunate people have lost their lives, but I think he's going to
We're gonna keep our eyes out on that
we're going to have
story.
justice come around.
Okay, so
Hopefully we
actually
will.
have some good news, y'all. Okay,
What's the
so,
good news?
Rutgers Law School has selected a black open lesbian
Oh,
to be the dean of their law
well,
school.
bless the Lord.
Kimberly Mutcherson, do we have an image? There she goes.
Come on.
Oh,
she's
Come on,
beautiful.
Kimberly.
A brilliant
Beautiful.
bioethicist and health law scholar. She's made history becoming the first woman, first African American, and first LGBT person to be named co-dean of Rutgers Law School.
Come on
Camden,
through.
New Jersey. So go ahead, sister.
Break it on.
Salute you.
And
And-
we look forward to sharing more about your story and Swerve.
So
All
put
right?
her picture up.
Yes, put
Put the picture back up, please. Ladies and gentlemen,
there she is.
this is
We have it. Boom.
there she go. So
All right.
this would be this week's crown of the week.
All
We'll go
right.
to her.
We like
She
that.
wins.
I
She
like
wins
that.
the crown for the week.
All right. Okay, so let's move to what's hot. You gotta say something, Dwayne. Come on, I can't hear your voice here. Okay. Okay. So the Golden Globes were this past weekend, and
Yes.
so we got a couple images from it. I think we've got one. Let's bring one up. Look at that. Mahershala Ali
Mahershala.
won
Incredible actor.
Yes.
Best Supporting Actor for. Oh, go back.
Best,
Go back.
best supporting actor
go back.
would be Mahershala.
Best Supporting Actor for Green Room.
Mhm.
And
Green
what's
Book,
so
Green Book.
amazing about him, he is such a gracious spirit.
Oh my God.
He's a gracious spirit, and he understood how to balance that navy blue scarf with that black tuxedo,
okay.
and I give him 10s across
And
the
it's funny. It was so funny. When I saw it, I thought about you. Because you know, when I wear scarves, I think of Tony Nelson, baby, because you're the king of the scarf. But it is classic. It's a classic, beautifully done.
We didn't even talk
And-
about what he
and-
did. We were talking about how he got on.
Well, you know what?
That's
But
what we
you know what? It makes a statement.
It makes
It
us
makes a statement.
so well
Did
accessory.
you hear his speech though? Because the family has come
Yeah.
out and said that whole thing was a lie.
No, it was a symphony of lies.
The way
Green Book.
The first thing that came out of his mouth was great things about Shirley.
Good.
That was
It was
Good.
beautiful.
Good.
Powerful.
So more power to him. So we had Regina King. She won for best supporting
It
actress
looked
in
amazing.
If Beale Street Comes. Can we bring that image up, DZ? No.
Regina
King. Regina King. Stay with us.
Second image.
Stay with us.
She is the essence of black
Yeah,
girl to
yeah.
rock.
Baby,
There she is.
She's amazing.
she is
and I
sneaky.
finally saw the movie. She was great. She was great.
But she was. I'm
She was
sure she was.
powerful. She
But
was
but you know, say this. It's really time for her to get her just due.
It is.
It is.
It's really.
She's been around since 227, baby.
So what does she have? Does she have? She didn't have an Oscar. She's
She has Emmy, Golden Globe.
She didn't get nominated for anything in Ray
No.
because she was great.
She was good in that.
Excellent.
Oh,
Ray.
she was excellent.
She's a really she's a really.
But you know, she's a director. I think she's a writer.
What did you say?
Did you see
She was
7 seconds?
No.
7
No?
seconds.
I didn't see
Incredible.
that.
Oh, I
She
have to
was
see
amazing.
that.
7 seconds.
It's on Netflix.
7 seconds.
Very
She
powerful.
was good.
I saw the ad for it, but I'll be watching that. It's
Okay,
on my list.
so we got to catch her 7
Everyone
seconds.
should watch it.
And then we had a couple other images from that. We have, I think we had an Billy Porter. We had
Baby.
that with the cape.
Come on.
She 12.
I'm sorry. I gave her her points. They were
She
trying to
gets her
read.
points.
Swerve.
They were trying to read,
The
but
socks don't work for me.
I ain't mad at nothing she did.
This
I'm
thing-
not mad.
How many people can
the
pull off a
cape,
cape?
But the
How many
socks-
people can pull off a cape? She twirled.
They're not socks. They're hose.
Dwayne, what do you think?
Twirled.
Not feeling the
Dwayne said he's not feeling
Let me
the
tell you
socks.
why. Let me tell you why.
I like
this.
in the pink.
What are they, Tony? Tony's in that socks. What are they?
Hoses.
Hosiery. Hosiery.
Hosiery.
I'm gonna tell you why I liked it. It's a costume. It is a costume for sure.
Right.
But Billy Porter has been just on the cusp of making it in the mainstream for a long time.
I mean, Tony for
That's, I'm talking about
Thank you.
I'm talking about the mainstream.
Come on, let's go
He
back.
has been
Thank you.
been pushed away from that
Thank
mainstream.
you.
That man took that opportunity and he said, "I'm going to make sure that you talk about nothing else. Whether or not you like it or you don't, you're going to talk about it."
So
that was
It was
that was a
I'm going to
unforgettable.
insert myself right here.
cape.
Anybody who knows me understands
Yeah, you're
that
big.
Billy Porter, I'm a huge,
Yes, you are.
die-hard Billy Porter fan. For those of you who don't know this man's history, he got signed to a label. He had an album called Untitled that came out in the early 90s.
It was an R&B album.
And yes, it was.
Yeah, I remember.
And he backed away from it because the label wanted it to be something he wasn't. And he said, I can't do it.
Right.
I won't kill
It
myself.
Making a statement.
Teddy Pendergrass and Glenn Jones.
He's
you
making a statement.
So-
Right. So he backed
He was in the Get Down as well.
right, he was.
was
But
great
this is
in the Get Down.
But this is what's
He was great in the
amazing
Get Down.
about him is that long when it wasn't popular, he stood in his truth and said that I'm going to be regardless. And what he did was he left mainstream, went to Broadway, and became this huge Broadway star. And now he is getting his just due. He has put in his time.
I mean,
Yeah.
I am a diehard fan.
But I have to call this
And
out.
we can tell.
I have to call this out. I have to call this out.
Go ahead, Tony.
Arnold Cogdale, who is a stylist in LA, just wrote in, "Sorry, Nelson, it ain't right."
Talking about that cape.
That can't right.
I can buy.
And he just said that does not make that right. So Arnold, we're
But
going
what
to.
he did was he made you talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
He made. I don't necessarily. It would not be something that I would wear. Well, maybe I would. I don't know.
I did like the
I
cape.
I could see you in a
I could
different
probably
shoe.
would.
I would see you in a different shoe, though.
I would not wear the hose, but
No, that's
I would not wear the hose. The shoe was over. But
She was over. She was
but
over.
I-
But he's so short, too.
but I do understand. I don't think it was about people loving that outfit.
Yes,
It was about
but
making
a statement.
It was about making a full
Arnold's
statement.
laughing. Arnold's
Yes.
laughing.
I love Arnold. That's
and
one of
by
my
the
best friends.
It was created by Randy Ram. She is she's a bridal wear designer.
Well, yeah.
A couture and bridal designer out of New York.
I live.
You did that.
All right.
And I paid for the application. You know, that was a whole lot of work,
Okay, yo, so we're gonna
handwork.
keep it moving, keep it moving. So we have-
It's a statement. He made a statement. We just spent 5 whole minutes talking about
Dear
it.
God, I'm here. That's what he said.
Really? We want our 5 minutes back. Okay. We got one other image.
Hi,
from
Lady
that,
Tony.
From
Ow! Miss Dominique.
Dominique is
Tyra.
everywhere.
Lord.
Yes.
Miss Dominique.
I
Congratulations.
didn't
girl.
find out who her mom was by, though. I went to go look
That's
for
a
it.
tall drink of water right there. isn't it?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Looking
She
fabulous.
looks phenomenal.
Cannot wait for Pose 2.
And she's another one. She's another one who's been around for years. She's been, I am so happy to finally see her get her grace. She has been walking fashion shows and New York Fashion Week for years.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes,
I didn't
it
know
has
that.
been. And not only that, she was a pageant girl. She ran the Continental System.
Yes, she did.
And did pretty well. She made the top.
Well, look at
she made
that.
the top. She's been around for a minute. Just get her right.
And
Her activism work is outstanding.
Yes.
Yes.
and may I say she looked amazing in that
Phenomenal.
white.
She did.
Yeah, she did.
So
The white was
regal.
hers. Okay. All right.
Arnold liked that one. He did.
Yes, Arnold.
Yes, she
Troy
get it
Patterson
right.
says over, and Troy Patterson said, "Hey,
Hey,
Troy.
Troy.
All right, all right. Well, we got one other item for what's hot.
We love you, lady.
Ride ski. So the Ebony Pyramid does a ski trip. I'm going.
Of course, because
actually
they're
one of the
honoring you,
reasons-
my beloved.
Honoring me. They're honoring
Bow.
Swerve.
They're honoring you.
No, they're honoring
No.
you. That
in your
Jamil
life.
Fletcher.
They're honoring you. You deserve it.
Oh,
You do
thank
deserve it,
thank
though.
You do
thank
deserve
We're
it.
gonna give you your
I feel
grade.
like I haven't done anything. We
No,
just
you've
get
done a lot in the
No,
community.
I-
a long
you know
time,
what,
and it's
we-
long
and
overdue.
we do it all together.
We
This is
can-
No,
Nah.
no,
team.
stand in your
No,
moment.
you
I'm gonna
really-
give you praises. You
Jamil,
deserve it.
We will
don't
have
try
to
to back down.
yeah.
You deserve that.
Being an unsung hero,
No,
even
yeah,
now.
Unsung hero.
You taking a lot. You taking a lot of along the way, and you deserve your flowers along with
Thank
everybody
you,
else that they're
Richie,
honoring.
Because of course we are being joined by Gene Wemberly, harmonica Sunbeam, Kaz Mitchell from New York, and Bishop Dennis Meredith, and that is President's Weekend, y'all. So
Yes,
if
February
you haven't gotten your tickets yet, I'm sure they still got some passes left for the Skeet Fair.
And I'm also and I'm going to say we just found out. We just got an email this week that
That's right.
Swerve Magazine will also be honored by Diversity of Richmond.
Wow.
So while in this same weekend,
I've
their
been to
ceremony
places.
was on the 15th. So while Jamil goes and collects his award on behalf of Swerve, I'll be in Richmond, Virginia.
Can y'all go?
on-
Y'all want to go?
Yes, because we have a whole
Y'all
table.
go?
We have a whole table.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
It'll
I'm
be
booked that
You're
weekend.
booked?
What day is
it's on a
that?
Friday though.
I bet you
It's on a
if we call
Friday.
your people,
In the
we
daytime?
can
During
Oh,
the
it's Friday night. It's on a
Anyway.
Friday. It's Friday, February the 15th. We will, as soon as we get a flyer, we'll have it. But
Yes.
we are being honored
I'll go
by
with you.
Diversity
And
of
we want to
Richmond
thank them for that.
for our
All
work.
I
So we
might
want
come
to
to Friday, but I definitely can't make
But
it.
we want to say happy 50th birthday to the iconic harmonica Sunbeam.
Hey, Hermione.
happy birthday. She's a Capricorn too.
Yes, she is.
Capricorn blazing through
Hey,
the
amazing Debbie
community.
Allen turned 68, I do believe, this year. Today, actually.
She did.
Yes, she did. The amazing Debbie Allen. She's a Capricorn.
Oh,
can't she?
really? That's right. That's
The
right.
whole world is caught up in
Did you
Capricorn
graduate,
fever.
baby?
Jesus was a Capricorn.
Yeah. We're going to skip this little music spotlight because we got Dwayne Vernon. We want to talk to him.
We
So,
want to talk to him.
That's right.
We'll talk to Dwayne.
He's been so quiet.
Well, I'm just
You're taking it all in.
He's feeling the
He's feeling the vibe.
Eat the microphone.
okay.
Treat it like something.
Put it.
Treat it like something else. Something.
Bless the Lord. Amen.
So y'all, and we've known Dwayne for quite some time. I think probably maybe at least about 15 years ago. I think
Yeah,
I first met you.
yeah.
Yeah. So you've been writing books. How did you become a writer? How did you get into writing?
Well, actually, a friend of mine was incarcerated. We used to correspond.
Were you incarcerated with him?
No, not.
I'm just checking.
But I guess my letters, he thought that I should write. So he told me, he said, you ought to try writing. And I just kind of like brushed it up a few times, and then I decided to take a stab at it because every time he asked me, and I'd be like, no, I tried it. But then when I tried it, and it was just right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had wrote my first book, My Man, My Boy.
I think we have that image. Can you bring that up? I think it's maybe
My Man,
number
My
3. It might be number 3. I can't. No, no. Keep
13,
going.
you
Number
mean?
13. No, number 15. Keep going. You'll see it. My man, my.
My
But
boy.
we're gonna show you
Yeah.
book images. Show us book images.
And this
Kapow.
book was actually my exhale, because I always wondered why it took me so long to tap into that talent. And it was because I wasn't ready. I still wasn't comfortable with who I was. And I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. So I had just got out of a relationship, the worst relationships that I've ever been in. And, so when I started to write, emotion came out, feelings, being detached from family because you're sexual. And it just all came out, and it came out in that novel.
But
you know,
your
but that-
writing is so
It
so
was therapeutic
passionate
for you.
But that happens. That happens often. That
Yeah.
happens often. That's what happened with what's that, Michelle? With her best album. What's her name? My homegirl from
Who?
over Adele. Adele.
Oh.
That whole album was written based out of a bad relationship. So sometimes you have to bless the experience.
Did you
and say
listen
thank
by
you.
name?
No, I didn't list them by name, but I did certain scenarios throughout the book that actually.
So was it more autobiographical? More of a more.
Well,
Autobiographical.
Actually, it was, but I didn't realize that until the end.
Okay.
So,
So as you were writing, you were healing.
yeah.
Let's bring up another book you got. How about The Master Plan? Tell us. Oh, Roman.
Roman.
Okay.
Can I tell you, I read at least 5 is your books.
My
But
favorite
my
is
favorite is the
Vengeance.
master plan.
Yeah, that's
The
my,
five. My favorite is the
I
master
haven't
plan.
read the master plan
Oh,
yet.
it's
And I
phenomenal. I
haven't.
read it twice.
Can we bring up that image for the master plan? Kapow. Tell us about that.
Well, it was so funny. I was watching
Roots.
and I was like, they never talk about, these slaves. And I know they had to exist.
Right.
I was there.
And Mandingo, there was
Mandingo.
there was an implied homosexual.
With
Right. That's right.
right. And so I was like, well, why don't I just take and flip the script? So you have the house nigger. I mean,
Ooh, did you say the word?
I mean,
Well, that's the term. That's the term.
we speaking in
Or just say the house slave. That's
the
fine.
house slaves,
The house slave.
and then the field hand.
Right. There you go.
So they were they fell in love. They didn't know what it was, and also wanted freedom. So the two of them, their relationship developed as they ran to freedom.
Wow. And I'm sure, I mean, of course, we know
Beautiful.
that there
It's a
were
beautiful
slaves
story.
of all sexual identity. I mean, that's throughout history.
Yeah.
Come on.
One of the things that I try and do is when I write, I try and break the stereotypes about black gay men,
Okay.
because there's so many things out there, and they constantly there's so many different ways, a plethora of gay men, whether you're feminine or whether you're masculine or whatever, we're all
Somewhere in
together.
between.
Right.
Or somewhere
right,
in between.
Right.
And so, I just like breaking stereotypes, and I like putting people, like when I wrote My Man, My Boy, I was having this conversation as well with someone, and they was like, well, if you choose to be gay, and I'm like, well, being gay is not a choice. I'm like, when it's like, did you flip a coin or did you choose to be straight?
People never think about that. I never hear anyone tell me how they chose to be attracted to men.
Right. So,
Man,
so I put that scenario in the book to put them inside my head to let people know choice comes into play when you accept who you are. Then when you act on it, I mean, you can't help but act on something that's a part of you.
That is natural to
That's
you.
natural to you.
If you, yeah.
Right. So if choice comes into play, it's at that point, but you don't choose, which route you want to go. It just happens.
Isn't it nice to be free?
Oh my God. Yeah.
So tell us about another
Living your
book.
best.
What else we got in here? We got a couple more images. Master Plan, is that the most recent
That's the most
recent
recent.
publication?
Deception, Lies, and Truth is the sequel to My Man, My Boys.
Okay, so can we? Okay, so I haven't read the book. So can you tell me, since this is the sequel, can you tell me what the first is about, and then tell me what the sequel?
Well, My Man, My Boys is like when you come of age, you go out in the world, you're trying to find someone like you,
Right.
because your family is taboo with your family, depending on where you grew up. So you meet these friends, and their friends become your family. So the family that you're born with is the family you die with.
Prepares you.
Amen.
So you know more about your best friends than you know about your brothers or your sisters,
Yeah.
because you guys have a connection, and you know each other. You know what color they're like. You know what makes them happy. You know the
Favorite
moods,
music.
the music. You just know so much about them, and then you grow together. And those long-term friendships, they pretty much last forever. So that's one of the things that I expressed in My Man, My Boys, and even talking about suicide, how young kids are committing suicide because of being gay, and playing in the NFL, which is before they even started talking about.
Is that in
That's
the
My Boys.
Oh, My Man, My Boys?
So
Okay.
And that was written in 2006 and came out in 2007.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And the sequel.
Deception, Lies, and Truth.
Yeah. So
Deception, Lies, and Truth carries on. To kind of give you a little bit about the story. One guy loses his lover through violence.
okay.
It's a carjack. So one of the guys that's part of it, without really getting him the story, one of the guys who was responsible for the death got out of prison and met one of the best friends and becomes part of the group. He rescues them at a robbery. But now then it all comes out that
Oh,
he
and they
was
don't know, and they all.
they don't know that he was part of the guys that.
Sounds like a movie.
It sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
It might be familiar. Something might have happened to One night pick a bad trade.
Trade. What's trade? What does that mean?
That's
Like
your,
Trader Joe's?
those are your
Jamil,
chronicles
you know
of
what it
okay.
is.
Those are Jamil's chronicles of fifth grade.
That's
early
an awesome
'80s.
web series.
No, he don't. No, he don't fifth and gay. He does the.
What apps? Anyway, so Dwayne, I know I attended a few of your book signing parties, and I was not surprised, but I noticed there was a variety of people that read your books. It's not just a
Right.
core black gay and lesbian audience. I mean, there was a little bit of everyone. There were a lot of
It's
women
a
there.
very mixed crowd, straight guys,
Right.
gay guys. I have many friends of mine that are reading, especially men. Men don't. I mean, straight men don't really read unless it's like a book.
You talking about R. Kelly, but
But it was a little bit of everybody.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of everybody, and I'm a big fan of promoting people's work. So when you come and bring information about your business, so you can share that because you just never know. I believe everybody is one person away from being successful.
Mm-hmm.
So when you open the door for people to communicate and talk about their businesses, you never know what can come there. And breaking the wall of the straight men and can't be friends without stuff.
The
People
stuff.
think that.
We believe in labels, so you call somebody straight whatever what they decide to do in business.
Well, yeah.
So now I understand you travel the country. You been at a lot of the Pride and all those events. What's been the impact and what's been the feedback from some of your readers around the country?
One woman brought the book, and I remember this to this day. She brought my man, my boys, because my boys deals with a lot of healing, and she told me that reading the book helped her to understand what she was hurting her brother, and it healed their relationship.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
there was a young kid I was talking to a while back, was on the verge of, I don't know if you guys remember Mike Warren. There was
Warren.
Mike Warren. He was a writer as well.
Okay. No, I don't know him.
I do.
He passed away a few years
Oh
ago.
wow.
And there was a guy that was, you ready to get my high school, was committing suicide. And we had gave him a book, and the book was like a healing to him.
Oh wow. So you never know who you're touching.
important.
Y'all
That's,
got questions
but
for
see,
him?
now you understand purpose.
Bring up vengeance. We have a for vengeance.
The incredible, legendary.
Now that's
Willie African Monet
That-
Dupree following.
do we have that
Please
one?
Like and shit.
yes we do. You showed it.
What's the roll call? if
Bring
you
up
heard
another.
the
Bring
background?
up the one.
That was the
Keep
roll call.
bringing them up. Bringing them up.
That was the roll call.
Yeah. So not that one.
There you
There's
go.
another one. The other one with the two.
There you go.
And
There-
10.
there-
And
all
what
up.
else? What else we got?
Bam. Get you some. Count them. That's all right.
No.
But
Two,
in it,
there
a
was
picture
one
of
more.
all of them. Don't you have a
You
picture
showed
of
it
all of them?
earlier. Master plan. The master, not master plan.
I love. Don't you love to talk back? The commentary.
Oh, I thought there was another one. I'm
Well,
sorry.
actually, vengeance deals with you have two males leaving the group of guys that are in a car. You start
And
calling.
when
Leaving
somebody
the
a
meal
police
meeting,
officer-
the bachelor's meal talks
Right.
about Washington D.C. You have to be here for some people.
Well, yeah, and one of the guys that was killed. A police officer came on the scene, wanted to label it as a robbery, whereas the other police officer who was gay, who came on the scene, said it was a crime. So since the police force wouldn't allow him to investigate it, he did it on his own. So when he went out, that heard the kid found out that he was investigating him, so they heard him. So then his gay, who was also gay, went after them and killed them with their own devices.
told the whole thing. I didn't want you to.
Well, I mean,
I have a question.
I mean, but it's
There's
so
more
much.
to the story.
I've read it, but there's so much more.
Yeah, there's
involved
more
in
to
that.
it.
So much.
When I read it, I said, "Ooh, this is gonna be a fierce movie."
I have a question for you. When you were a kid, what was there any clues as a kid?
Why does it sound like a pageant?
I'm a pageant boy.
World
was,
peace.
was there
Thank you.
anything like in your childhood? Like I took a psychology class, and she made one of our assignments was we had to go back to childhood and identify if there were any things in our childhood that would have spoke to what we were majoring in school. Mm-hmm. So, was there anything in your childhood that would hint that you would eventually find a passion in this?
No.
Okay.
Security.
If it was, I didn't see it.
You don't remember it.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I always felt like, and it's so funny, people laugh when I say it. I don't know if you ever saw Jackson's story, The American Dream.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Jackson always talked about there was just so much music in his head that it was like, it's almost time like you couldn't think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how stories are. It's like there's so many stories
Right.
that are in my head. Because people will read my work and they'd be like, how did you come up with that?
So you're a good liar?
You know, that's what they said E. Lynn was. 'Cause I had some friends that knew him. They said, "Oh, he lies so much all the time. We weren't surprised."
I'm just curious.
Wow.
You know, liars are storytellers. That's what I'm saying. Are you a good liar?
Not because whenever you tell one, you have to remember it. And
Right.
and that's just true.
And he doesn't look like he's afraid of anybody enough to be a liar.
This is an
Yeah,
angel.
you have to be afraid of people to be a liar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Liars are afraid
And
of
at my
people.
age now, I'm just too old. To
What
lie.
age is this?
Well, this is going to be the next question we're going to get after offline. Are you single?
I'm single. I'm 56. I got benefits.
The benefits.
Are you open to dating anyone?
My
Or
number
meaning
is
you don't have a certain type?
777-9311.
I'm open.
Okay, good. Here, baby, remember this number 202-210 application call for Candy.
So Dwayne, I want to make sure. How do people access your work? And we should post it as well.
It's
Your website,
very easy. DwayneVernon.com.
There it is.
DwayneVernon.com. Also on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook, and I have a release party coming up in 3 months with my new book called Counterpunch.
Can Swerve be a part of that?
Sure.
I have a
All
couple
right.
questions.
Well, we want to be a part of it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
So how many
Seriously.
books do you have written and published?
I've written 6 and I published 6.
Okay,
Wow.
and you're self-published.
Self-published.
You please, for those who are watching, who are either aspiring to write or who are writers who are possibly looking for a publisher but have not found one, can you please tell us about your experience on self-publishing?
Well, when I went through this company, I'm not going to say the name of the company. They kind of publishing my first book. It almost cost me like 10, 15 grand.
Cost you?
Yeah, because I didn't know.
Okay.
Because I
Okay.
But as I, got my feet wet, then, it didn't cost as much, much more cheaper. The biggest cost is printing.
Okay.
And you don't do it on demand?
No.
Okay,
I
because
Do you print it in bulk? Do you
I
print it?
print-
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Good. So you like it big
Yeah.
and have it in bulk.
Wow.
And it's
It's amazing.
And it's easier and it's
Bless
and
the
it's,
Lord.
and it's also best to self-publish because when you allow another company to publish your work, then if someone ever picks it up, they own it. You don't. And if you ever walk away from that publishing company, they own those characters, and you can take them with you.
Really? So wait. So rewind. So when Alice Walker.
Well, it depends. Those are special deals. I
I
mean,
was just-
the major writers. I mean, those are
But she
probably,
wrote a purpose. I asked the questions. You know what I mean? Now that it's evolved into a movie and 2 Broadway plays.
licensing.
And that's-
She didn't have very much say in those plays. Maybe she had very little say in those
She had
plays.
very little.
Very little.
They just invited
Or,
her.
and
she-
the movie.
Yeah.
And the movie. She was very
Yeah,
happy
she-
at first with the movie.
Oh,
With fiction when it was starting out. She wasn't happy with the
interpretation.
the men that were. She felt like it was all men running it, but she had say
Cool.
so.
So I have another. Sorry.
So in other words, you tell people own your own shit.
On your shit.
Right.
And with the technology, it's an opportunity for you to do that. Right? I mean, because anyone can print.
And
Right.
if anybody wants to, pick my brain and get some idea, just kind of like figure out how to, I'm more than willing to.
And how to self-publish.
How to self.
That would be great.
That's amazing.
Do you publish other writers?
I haven't because I've just been more so focused on publishing my own work. Because if I don't want other people to own my work, then I don't want to own
other people's
Sure,
work.
Yeah.
sure.
as well.
But,
Can I ask you a question as a writer? What process do you kind of look away for 3 months? Or what do you
Well,
do?
actually, it takes me about 4 to 6 weeks to write a book.
Wow. But he said he has so many different
Yeah.
stories.
Do you
in his
seclude
head.
yourself when you do it?
I'll go and I'll park at the metro and I'll watch people walk, how they walk or how they may dress, and I take some of those characteristics and give them to my characters.
Oh, wow.
So are you coming up with a story about my sister Racine?
We're waiting.
It's all in his mind.
Laverne and Shirley.
It's Louise, and what is it, the other one? No.
Thelma and
Louise. Right.
I will say the books, especially the newest one, Counterpunch.
Counterpunch. Okay.
So Counterpunch is like the Muhammad Ali of the world. Well, this box is Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
oh.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So it's interesting because I was going to ask you.
And Muhammad
so
Ali
out
was
of-
also a Capricorn too.
Yes, he was.
Damn.
Yeah, five books, right?
Six.
So 6 books. I'm sorry.
6.
So out of the 6, if you could only choose one to be a movie, which one would it be? And who would play the main and supporting characters?
Okay, I just have to have a KO. I'll be walk on. I'll be me somewhere. Give me a K.
But you can only choose one book.
I can only choose.
You can only choose one book.
My Man, My Boys.
Uh-huh.
The main characters. Two of the main characters I can think about are Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
That's a good.
And
He's the main character in a lot of my stories.
All after midnight.
And the guy who played in that just we got a Golden Globe.
Mashallah.
Yeah. the
Mahershala.
Mahershala, I'm sorry.
Mahershala.
Ali.
Mahershala Ali
And B. Jordan Smith?
and B. Jordan.
That would be great.
Michael B. Jordan.
That's a little
Michael B.
generational thing because Mahershala's older, isn't he?
Come on, Danny.
It's called acting. Make him young. He fits the characters. It's called acting.
Y'all know who else
So,
is
so
sex?
we can't wait to tell those stories
One
in
in
Swerve
Box.
for sure.
Oh, he's everything.
I haven't seen Bird.
Oh, he was
the guy from
in the movie, right.
Carry your box wherever you
Yo,
go. You don't have to
we're
see.
running out of time here, so I want to thank you, Wayne. We got to make sure
Please post the information.
Post.
Facebook Live.
Vernon.com.
Type it in
Type it
This
in
new
now,
book,
Dwayne.
right now.
type it in now.
before we close this
Thank
live
y'all
down.
for joining us.
We wanna- we
Look
wanna
out
s-
for the Swerve issue. Can we put up the cover once again? It's
Bring
gonna
the
Coming up,
the first image.
Will Tamisha Iman, you're welcome to come anytime.
Tasha, let us know when you're coming to
I wanna
DC.
thank Walker, I love my scarf. He gave this to me. And
Okay.
I wanted
Hey,
to wear
Shanti. You don't have it anymore. You don't have
Walker, these amazing Infinity scarves.
All right. All right. Well, y'all, thank you for joining us. We're going to say goodnight.
Thank you.
Here you go, man. You're on the cover.
Thank
We
you.
can't wait for the issue to hit. We feature Stasha Sanchez. She's Miss Continental 2018. The Garcon House Ball, which is amazing. We have an article from Ray Patterson and Eric Nicholson on So You Want to Be a Homeowner. And then, of course, we've got a profile Swerve show you're watching right now. So anyway. All right, folks. See you next week. Thanks for joining.